welcome to our 95th Gorilla Radio. Um, oh, geez. Mike Morgan's already asking if we're still on. I'm just going live right now. We have a preview show. Uh, I'm Joe
I
Caprino.
know. Troy asked me earlier.
I'm Joe Caprino, and this is Mr. Mike Reiser, our ranker
What's
extraordinaire.
going on?
And
What's going on?
uh, had a busy week here, I guess it looks like. Gonna have some work to do this weekend. Lots of wrestling talk to go on. How was your week of broadcasting and all those other fun duties?
Yeah, it was good. I was able to get out to Crown Point, Chesterton, do the broadcast there for the Bulldog Premiere Facebook page, which was pretty cool. Uh, I was gonna try to make it out to Portage to cover that, the final round, Cathedral Crown Point, but something came up, so I wasn't able to. But overall, just a good weekend of wrestling, man, across the board. I thought I was able to watch some more live events. A lot of people are doing the live streams, which is really cool. Um, I think that's like the silver lining of the season with the COVID is that more teams are doing um, live streams, which is easier for me to cover like a lot of the bigger name guys across the state and see some of these like these matchups. And I think this was like the real first big week of wrestling where you had a lot of good matchups.
Yeah, there were matchups all over the state, and had some stuff around here got canceled or pushed back, but there's stuff, good events going on all over. And this is usually the Trikoff weekend, and obviously Modern Day was still able to have their event and a couple other bigger events. Usually we're talking about Trikoff, and we had a mini Trikoff up in Portage, so
Yeah. I think I know a little Christmas cheer. I'm gonna cut that thing down myself. Um, yeah, I think that was pretty cool that those guys got together. I think that obviously I think Floyd Central is pretty tough, but a lot of times it's Portage, Crown Point Cathedral, and Franklin at the top four at the Trikoff. Mishawaka's been in there. It's kind of been close, but that's let's get that together.
yeah, that was a real good one. You're starting to break up a little bit. Hopefully that's not too bad. Um, yeah, that was a good. There's Portage obviously is a little bit down this year compared to the teams that were there. Franklin had they had Cathedral on the ropes late, and ended up Cathedral ended up winning that one, and then Franklin didn't have much for Crown Point. Then the feature, obviously Crown Point and Cathedral, that was a pretty good one. What came down to tiebreakers, and that was a very interesting close match from the get
Yeah.
go.
Tough week for Crown Point. Wednesday they had Chesterton. I know we talked about that last week. Uh, big swing there at 52. Close match, could have went either way. And then Estrada, who was a placer in Illinois, that'd be awesome. Estrada was a placer in Illinois. Close match with Brock Ellis, ends up taking him to his back in a flurry and gets a fall. I mean, that's a 9-point swing and a duel that was pretty close. A couple matches here or there. 170 was a big toss up between Tatini and Johnson. So I really thought that was a good. I thought that would be the best duel of the year for Crown Point, and then you turn around, and then they have Cathedral Saturday, and I know a lot of people are counting Cathedral out, but man, the Irish always find a way. They and I'm not talking about the people of Ireland, but the Indianapolis Cathedral Irish always find a way.
Yeah, that was. They actually might have enough firepower in the right places, and I mean, I didn't really look to it too deeply because Crown Point's so good from basically 113 right now through 170 that you're gonna have a couple good guys at 6 and 82 on up, and then have some people that can at least weather the storm in the in the lower weights. And they actually, I mean, you have someone like Seltzer who is pretty good, and you have some other guys in the mix there that can win some matches. So that's how you beat a team that's just loaded top to bottom like Crown Point.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to Cathedral's program and their coaching. We talked talk every year about McGinley getting his guys ready, and for big matches, and they were there. They did what they needed to do, and every match, I think that every toss-up match, it seemed like it went Cathedral's way, and then you know, you have guys that are starting to peak, and getting the ball rolling, and not peaking for the state series, but you watch a guy like Zeke Seltzer, who wrestled Logan Frazier, and Frazier state semifinalist, but Seltzer looked awesome in that match. Phil's right. Andrew Wilson, who I think there were some times he struggled to make it in the lineup, and I know he's battled some injuries. It was state qualifier, I think, 2 years ago as a freshman, and hasn't been back, if I'm not mistaken. Who's wrestling lights out right now? I suggested that we do basically like who had the toughest week. Like wrestling ranked guys. I mean, every week's tough, but last week it could have went to Andrew Wilson, where he wrestled Conley and Jones at that Avon triple duel, and then this weekend he comes out and beats a guy like Orlando Cruz, who had been wrestling really well. Cruz, who had wins over Shane Bates and Carolyn Keith, the last couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I guess probably one of the bigger surprises in the Cathedral lineup is Wilson, who you kind of, last year he entered the lineup late, and we, didn't even know if he was going to wrestle, and then he does. And obviously, when you enter the lineup and at sectional, basically, the chances of you actually pushing through the state yet to be pretty exceptional. And that was at like what, 32 or 38, something like
I
that.
think 38, yeah.
38, and then
Maybe 30. Maybe it was 32. You might be right.
yeah, but he, you know, didn't obviously have the year he wanted, and then comes back and just he's up at 160. Obviously, he's probably not cutting much weight, if any. Yeah, he's at 32. He's semi-state. Just, I mean, obviously you're not clicking. You don't have your rhythm. Ends up he lost a close 3-1 match, and to qualify for state. Um, so definitely one that's a huge surprise right now. Especially the gauntlet he's wrestled, and he's beaten proven guys that have been to state that have been where he's. I mean, and he's going to be in the mix for a title. I mean, that's not a. I know a couple people are saying that on the board, but obviously the guys he's beaten are no slouches.
There's the man himself, Kevin Whitehead.
We might. We'll talk to him. We'll see if we can get to contract him. He's not cheap. I know that for that
That's the
voice.
man. That's the legend himself.
The
Yeah,
voice
but
of Indiana.
it comes down to the last match with Cathedral, and that's what those guys are looking for. Crown Point was out Sam Goyen, who's a state medalist, but I mean, you figure, he started off at 38. Mendez gets a fall, Goodwin a tech fall, Estrada a fall, and then you're just rolling at that point. Like it's about momentum, and I think Crown Point's probably feeling real good, right? 2 falls and a tech fall running out.
Yeah.
And then that Wilson Cruz match is Tatini and Uransky. Uransky gets a major there. That's huge. Tatino is at state. Well, it was a smaller weight, but still he was at the state finals. Uransky was not.
Yeah, Uratsky's had a pretty good. He's looking pretty good this year, also. So obviously, being stuck between Wilson and Parker,
Yeah.
you're gonna get better. You're gonna get beat on, and you're gonna get a lot better.
Yeah. Then you run out Parker. But I mean, even there, you have a backup in there, and Jacob Carter. You're thinking, 11-6. You can live with that result. Like everything's kind of going right.
Mhm.
Willems gets a win. David Gall 6-3 over the freshman Paul Clark. That's you're looking at that as a win. Paul Clark's going to be he's going to be good for the Bulldogs down the road. And Goal, that family's been there. He's been in big matches. Big one right there. Lane Fowler gets that 6-2 win over Jack Reed. Where they're at with Dickey get a tech fall. Reyes over Evan Cruz by major. Putting together like a quiet good season. Like looking at some of his results.
Yeah. I just put in a bunch of his results too.
He had a win over Carlin Perry. Same thing with Dylan Graham, who was a middle school state champ last